Welcome to the Men of Honor podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and today we're going to be talking about a gentleman who lives in Germany called Bryan, and his pictures have been trending on Facebook. He's a gentleman who believes that men should be also able to wear dresses and high heels. Now, I put it out there in terms of the communities I'm involved in with men's support groups and everything, and there's been a mixed reaction in terms of Bryan. He wears a dress with heels, and with some of the lady friends that I've presented those pictures to, they've been quite jealous of his bum, actually. Most men would not admit that because they feel like if they admit that he's got a good-looking bum, then maybe it makes them gay of some way. Personally, I was just jealous of how fit he looks. Obviously, wearing this stuff, it presents those features in a nice way. Well, I know some guys who were showed were saying, "Oh, it's really disgusting. Men shouldn't do that," and there was just a mixed bag, and there was a few guys who just said, "You know what? That's kind of cool." And from me, my personal take on the whole thing was, the guy is definitely my hero because we live in society where, you feel like you want to do something, but you feel you cannot do it because of society's rules. So, for instance, men wearing a dress is considered weird, or men wearing a dress with heels. Not so much because now we've got like drag queens and transgender, so people are a bit more accepting of it. But the fact that he's a married man to a woman and he wants to wear heels and dresses, most men will find it weird. And some of the comments were quite mean that when I read some of the comments, and I think most people that are affected in a negative way or feel like they need to say something negative, I think it's just some unresolved sexual feelings. I think that's what it is. Basically, if you look at that and it causes you to have such a reaction, it probably means that there's something about you and gay that is unresolved. Like when I was, I don't know, the earliest I can remember, I've always been attracted to women. There's never been a time I've been attracted to a man. So I know I'm not gay. So if a gay guy comes and shuts me up, or I see anything gay or something that is to do with gay happens around me, I don't feel like I'm going to catch it like coronavirus. And this is how some of these guys behave, and it's quite interesting to see. And yeah, like some guys who I showed the picture were absolutely like, wow, that's amazing. And for me, the whole take on this thing is that he's my hero because he's definitely living his life the way he wants it. And this is what we're talking about on this Men of Honor podcast, that you have to live your life by design. You have to decide what you want with your life and what you desire and do it. And this guy is doing it. Every time he wears a dress, it makes him feel happy and he's living his best life. This is somebody who's made a decision to do something that is against the grain, and he enjoys it, and it gives him happiness, and he's living it. And my question would be, what are those things that you desire to do, but you're afraid because you're afraid of being judged? Whether it's the fact that maybe you might be bisexual or something, and you have been for many years, but you find yourself having not to do anything about it, or you're probably gay and you've been lying to yourself, and you've not living the life the way you want it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm making this episode, because we go through life, and it's like the saddest thing I've ever heard when I was watching this program yesterday. I think yesterday or day before yesterday on TV, and they showed this Stand Up for Cancer advert where they showed this guy who gets he got his diagnosis for cancer, and once he got his diagnosis for cancer, he started documenting the whole journey. And at that point, he knew he had a clock. He's 32. Instead of considering life up until 70, 80, or 100. He knew now he had limited time. So him and his girlfriend went through the first round of chemo, and they got through it. He went into remission, and after remission he started doing stuff to secure his future. So got married and everything else. And once they got married, the cancer came back, and then he progressively got worse over time. And then you see him on his deathbed saying, I wish I'd done more with my life. I wish I'd done this. And it's the most saddest thing that, there's so much that you should be doing right now, and you're just afraid of what people might think, whether you're going to be judged, and all these other things that are pointless. Because your life, in fact, the weird thing is that we think that we've got so much time, whether you got 70 years, you can live up to 70 or 80 or 100. At some point, you're going to die. And there's no need to stop yourself from living your life by design, or at least living out your life the way you want it. And sometimes we live life the way we've been prescribed. So whether you're in a job because you want to please your parents, or whether you're stuck in a job because you want to please somebody, and it's something that you don't love, it's something that you don't like, and you find yourself you're doing something that is making you unhappy every single day. You don't need to live like that. You've got a choice, and it's your life. So I found that quite interesting, and I like I said, he is my hero, and I look at stuff like this, and for me, I try and take this sort of inspiration that I need to audit my life and see where I'm living my life for other people, and I should stop living my life for other people. I should live life in a way that I can be happy without hurting anyone. That's the main thing. He's not hurting anyone. He's just happy. If his wife is happy with him doing that. Personally, I wouldn't do, I wouldn't advise on anything that is illegal or, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is that as long as it doesn't hurt anyone and it makes you feel happy, then do it. Just do it. So I don't know where I was going to go with this episode, but I just thought I'll speak about this because the amount of negative reactions were a little bit disturbing in terms of the fact that we're living in a time where we should be more accepting. But the fact that it's affecting people in such a way is a little bit ridiculous. It's when 2020, I think the one thing that COVID has brought is the fact that we are quite fragile as human beings. We are very fragile. The thing that we call life, we've taken it for granted for so long, and now we got to now at a place where we realize that we are gonna die. There is gonna be a point when you're gonna die, and if you live your life living for other people and you're not taking time to live for yourself, and making your own decisions and doing the thing that you love, then it's such a horrible way to live, So, guys, thank you very much. And I hope this is it's challenged you to actually start auditing your life. And I mean, like for me, I've audited my life, and I've always loved engineering, but I now know that I love coaching even more. So now I'm working towards leaving engineering. I think I'm going to be part of it in some sort of way. So I'm always going to be involved in it in some sort of way. But my dream is now to coach men and get them to the next level in their business, and coach men into being strong masculine leaders. And that's my dream, and that's what I want to live. And at the moment, I'm living part of my dream by making this podcast and doing stuff like that. And I'm saying this not to say I'm better than you. I'm just saying this to challenge you, to say that you can actually start doing it. Sometimes you might not fully do it, but at least be on track to do what you really want to do with your life. And that's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I'm trying to say. That Mark Bryan, if you ever hear this podcast episode, you're a legend, and keep living your life the way you're enjoying it. You're an inspiration for me personally, and thank you very much for that. So guys, please, take some time, audit your life, see where it is where you're living, not living your life by design, and see what you want to do, or at least write down what you want to do, and then start figuring out how you're going to get there. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.